It's always exciting around here. Clearly, I'm already in my poor Ashley pajamas from 1992. They're so cozy. Now we've had our showers and baths, and we're getting ready for night-night, aren't we?
And not get ready for night-night.
And not get ready for night-night. We have 18 minutes until we start that process. Everything is very regimented. So you know there are these like rumors that, or maybe not rumors, but like, oh, do you have to live by a schedule? And I'm always like, no, we don't have a schedule. My daughter ate those, and then she said that there was mold in them. Never hurt anybody. But we do have to, not a schedule as much as we have to stick to a pretty tight timeline of things, I guess. So he usually gets his medicine at about 8:35, right? It's all in here. We have a whole cabinet full of it. Oh, this is my medicine. This is my medicine. But I also take medicine. So if you don't like medicine, this is probably not the show for you. How is Big Thomas? So my husband came home today and pronounced himself sick. That fool in sick. You know what I think? I think he was tired and he didn't want to admit he was tired. So he said, I'm sick. He was about to go play tennis and then it started raining. So he was like, I'm going to stay here and rest. I was like, you fool, it's raining. That's why you're not playing. Anyway. Yes, so I don't even know what I was saying. This is what happens to me. I have been on a real medicine thinking kick lately. Like somebody's like, oh, did you see this happened in whatever county? And I'm like, no, I did not. Because all I think about these days is medicine. Because we are really trying to get Amos's straight. Meanwhile, Ashlyn is watching Inventing Anna. What's his favorite color? I don't know. I've never asked him. Probably depends on the day. Getting sick from Lucky Charms? Well, my husband didn't eat Lucky Charms, thank goodness. We have citalopram here, which we are not going to be taking. So we were taking this instead of Lexapro. We start propranolol tomorrow. Well, that's what we're on now. And we're going to raise the dose, or we've raised the dose. We're going to give it a week. We are, what? No longer going to take the ADHD medicine. We're going to see how we do on the Propan whatever. And then we also have, we have more Propan whatever. And then we've got guanfacine. We're not taking that currently. That was for tics, which were caused by the Lexapro and the citalopram. Yes. See? I said to this friend of mine, she's a pharmacist by trade. And I said, I wish I was a pharmacist. She was like, and I wish I was an educator. Because it is hard to know all these things. I was like, well, good. Then we're good friends. I know about education and you know about drugs for young children. Now, I will tell you, and this is super important to me, starting Saxenda tomorrow. Yes, so I take Saxenda for being chubby. So I take that, which is good. But this isn't about me. This is about Amos. We dropped guanfacine our last menstrual. It's so tough. Yes, it is. So when Amos was 3, he was diagnosed with autism. And that was kind of a hard pill to swallow. How do you keep it straight? I write it all down, or what I do is I type it into my phone. Yes, the Dr. Nathan Copeland at Duke Autism is amazing, and he has been messaging me pretty much every day for the last 14 days, and which is awesome. We have another appointment on Friday. We went up on a medicine. Then today I said, I think it's the ADHD stuff. He said, okay. He listens. Let's keep going on the other. Just really, he's awesome. So I feel for folks that don't have a pediatric psychiatrist that they love or feel like they can trust, because this is way beyond, to me, the scope of a pediatrician. Like, I don't know how you would possibly know all these drugs and things you need to know about. But anyway, when Amos was 3, he was diagnosed with autism. And his behavior was pretty tough. It really started getting tough. He was hard to get dressed, he wasn't talking at that point at all. And I thought, we're going to die. Like, had these meltdowns, which I just thought, that's autism. Well, we get in to see Dr. Copeland. I put out a plea on Facebook, and we get in to see him. And he has me fill out this questionnaire, and we spend, an hour or so talking. I'm sort of mad at that cat since it left a decapitated bird on my floor this morning. Talk about giving the cat. I'm going to give the cat some medicine. Well, Emily, he is at Duke, but we just do virtual appointments with him. We did go see him in the beginning, and then COVID hit. Can you move? Speaking of Duke, look who's got on their small child brother's Duke shirt.
It fits.
It fits if you're into crop tops, which you are. Okay, move it. Move it, Toots. And he was like, what you're talking about is anxiety, not autism. What breed of cat? Hold on, this is an important question.
Ragdoll?
It's called a ragdoll, a European ragdoll, also known as a cat that wandered into our yard, and it looked so terrible that we felt bad for it, and it has turned out right pretty looking. And yes, join back up as a subscriber. Sometimes Facebook likes to be mean and kick people off my subscriber group, so that's super fun. Because tomorrow morning we're going to be talking about Congressman Madison Cawthorn, just because we need to laugh a little bit. Okay, so he was like, what you're talking about is anxiety. So we started, I think, Zoloft. It didn't work. We moved to Lexapro. First day, his teacher texted me and was like, oh my gosh, he just sat in small group for 3 minutes. We were... Blair? Do not put the cat on him. The immediate change. We're like, this is great. Really great, because many doctors don't differentiate between autism and anxiety. I would say the right pediatric psychiatrist does. Emily, how do you determine anxiety versus autism? So, Emily, I thought anxiety was like feeling anxious, like my mother. I love her, but my mother has anxiety. If you're gonna I'm having 150 people that follow my blog here next weekend, she will be like, what if it rains? And I'm like, WTF? What am I going to do about it? I can't be anxious about something I can't control. So I thought anxiety was like somebody kind of like that. How old was he when you started meds? 4 or 5? 4 or 5. Yes, he's off the iPad, Susan. And so anyway, when we saw Dr. Copeland, he was like, what you're talking about is anxiety. So the way the autistic person specialist said, and there are people that work, and so we live in North Carolina, and if you are a public school student, there are autism specialists at central office who will come to your county for free and work with your teacher or help you come up with things you need to know. There are people that will go to IEP meetings with you. There's a wealth of resources. We just have to know about them. And so one thing she said that made a lot of sense for me is that she said, have you ever been in a meeting and you're going to go to an all-day meeting and you sit down and you've been to a meeting before, so you know what a meeting is like, but when you sit down, people start talking and you have no agenda, right? So when you go to a meeting, you want to look at the agenda. What time's lunch? What time the hell are we getting out of here? She said for him, he needs things written down. So even if he knows the schedule, he needs to be able to see it. So if you go to a meeting and you know they tell you we're having lunch at noon and we're over at 5, so you know that, you still want to look at the agenda. And so the anxiety is this kind of what's happening next, where am I going, what's happening. And so we combat that in 2 ways. One, I write on Post-it notes, and I've not been as good about it late as I should. I have a little like magnetic boogie board that I take down and will write things on in the car, lots of different ways. There's a new company, my friend Kate Swinson of Finding Cooper's Voice, she uses like a little electronic device to do that, like what you do when you brush your teeth. So I'm kind of thinking we'll move to that. But we can only do one thing at a time. Right now, we are working on wearing our glasses. That has been a big thing. And we've gotten rid of the iPad in 3 weeks. So anyway, he says, Dr. Copeland is like, I think what you're doing with the anxiety. And what we noticed with the anxiety, I'm going to tell you, we noticed he could get dressed and not have a total flippity flip out. He could go to a place that maybe was crowded and not have to sit in a stroller. Somebody could walk in the door and ring the doorbell, or maybe the dog would bark and he wouldn't cry. We also have a service dog, so that's another thing we do. So like she has helped simultaneously with loud noises, or if we're busy places, we go on a walk. One thing she does a lot of is behavior interruptions. So if he starts getting upset, we can kind of refocus him with her. Like leaving the playground is hard, so it's an incentive if he can hold her leash. So we do that. But this medicine is one more, what do they say? You have like a lot of keys to open the box. I don't know what the hell they say. But anyway, the medicine is a big part of what we do. Just like it is for all of us. You know, you're going to lose weight. Like I take shots for Saxenda. I'm trying to drink more water. I gave up Pepsi and cigarettes to get healthy. Now, do I have a jar of chocolate kisses in my bathroom? Yes. You know, we're just hitting one thing at a time. Basically, anxiety is a normal response to something dangerous or stressful. General term for frequent bouts of fear without a reasonable cause. Real physical symptoms and affects how a person behaves. Well, there you go. Tools in your toolbox. Thank you, Victoria. I'm just going keys to my toolbox. But you also need keys to get in the frickin' toolbox. So anyway, anxiety, I realized really quickly, was my biggest problem. I was like, oh no, autism is what makes Amos interesting. Autism is Amos being interested in countries and flags, and like now he's doing pretend play. Like he put me in Lego handcuffs and made me go get in the bed. I mean, autism is interesting and funny and not always easy, but it's the anxiety that is debilitating for us. ADHD, which once we started treating anxiety, Dr. Copeland said, you might see this kind of ADHD pop up because we'd gotten his brain settled down enough that then he got real busy, because what he was doing is he would get so upset and wear himself out. We also realized he wasn't sleeping. He was in a crib for a long time, and I guess he wasn't sleeping in there either, but he would just hang out in the crib and not bother you. And so now he takes trazodone and melatonin at night. What time is it? Let's see. We have 8 minutes till we do that. He goes to bed at 9. He lies down with me. Yes, if my nanny's here or my husband, he does not have to do that. But with me, he does, because I'm a sucker. Yes, he's watching Backyardigans. So one thing he does since he hadn't had the iPad is he watches regular little kid cartoon television shows like Backyardigans or Scooby-Doo. He also does a lot of reading. We have a lot of books. He loves Legos. We are spending a lot more time outside. We usually go on a big neighborhood walk. My nanny took him tonight because I had IVIG today, so I was kind of worn out. And then I thought my husband was sick, but he wasn't. He took him last night. So anyway, it's busy. I'm not I'm definitely not working as much. I'm tired. He's busy. He's busy, but it's been good. And I would say to anybody, it is, if I can do it, anybody can do it. FYI, because we really like the iPad a lot. Is the ADHD medicine time released? No. And Lynn, that was one thing we did last week. So the doctor said, I think he's having a rebound effect. Let's give a small dose of the ADHD medicine. So we did that for 4 days. And I was like, nope. It's his behavior changed the day we started the ADHD medicine, and it definitely got worse. So that was great that we could pinpoint it, I hope, Yes, I did see that. Thomas wasn't sick. No, he's not sick. He's fine. Husband's sick. I don't even know if that's a real thing. My Med Journey hero. Well, don't say that. Adrienne might need a box of Marlboro Lights in her toolbox, something. It's great that your husband doesn't have COVID. Oh, God, if he has COVID. We have to get my boy off the iPad. He's on it 24/7, right? Preach, my friend, preach. What medication was he on for ADHD? Well, he's no longer on it anymore. But I can tell you, I think it's Dynavel, maybe. Look, this is our medicine chart. Yeah, Dynavel. So right now we're going.
Detective.
You're a detective.
I'm a detective.
Ooh, the detective.
I'm a detective.
He's a detective. He just wants him to try this new anxiety medicine, the Propanos, something, and then we're going to revisit the ADHD stuff. I came in late. We have an autistic child. Yes, I'm glad to answer questions. Who is obsessed with an iPad? Can you tell me why no iPad? Well, Danielle, because of that, he was obsessed with the iPad. It ruled the day. It ruled every minute of every day. Everything we did was about the iPad. We could go nowhere without it. It was a huge pain in the ass crutch that I thought we had to have. And it was a very good babysitter. But his language has skyrocketed since then. And honestly, I feel like I'm a little more able to get him to wear his glasses, or I don't know. It's been good. It's kind of like, I quit smoking at the same time. And I was like, we're both suffering. We both miss something. And we can do this. Might have been a little teeny bit of tears, but we can do this. He seems more normal, really. Yes, and I know you mean that in like a nice way. Like Dr. Copeland's just messaged me again. He came. Yes, my subscribers. So I have the subscriber group, and y'all are like, oh my gosh, she's talking about it again. But I love my subscribers. And my subscribers have said, oh my gosh, because Amos and my children are in and out of subscriber videos. And they're like, oh my gosh, he's talking so much more. Yes, that's what Denise is saying right now. Talking so much more interaction at school, taking somebody's hand. So I had a really good week. And then when we started the ADHD medicine, we saw it. He kind of went back down again, not to where he had been, but because of how it had been. My 10-year-old is on Dianavel. Oh, well, that's good to know. Well, we're off of it now. What's the topic? The topic is medicine. We're talking medicine. He really is, Debbie. We're talking medicine. So we had taken Lexapro was fantastic for him, but it caused this tic, which then we went down this rabbit hole. We thought he had cyclical vomiting syndrome, which he might have had. But I think the Lexapro caused the tic, which caused that, where he would do that. Well, then he started vomiting. I mean, we were in the hospital last summer. So Dr. Copeland, I was like, what if it's Lexapro causing it? He was like, it could be. It'd be rare, but it's possible. Let's try it. Well, we get off the Lexapro around Christmas, which was terrible for behavior. But damn if we didn't get out of those tics. And he'd been taking guanfacine. So then we switched to citalopram, which is another, they call it, like, I think it's an SSRI. He was doing all this, a lot of blinking, which I was like, well, blinking's not bad. But then I was like, you know, if you're doing this all day long, you can't really focus on something. You know? I mean, seriously, blinking. Oh, you're in South Africa. Wish I was there. iPad overstimulates. Yes. Thank you, Danielle said. We've been wondering if it's helping or hurting. Oh, you're welcome, Danielle. And it is, some people have been like, well, I think it helps some children because I know it sounds like hell to take it away. I get it. But like, we want to offer Amos an augmentative communication device, and an iPad had not been an option because he was using it so much for other things. So now at this point, I know that if I pulled out an iPad just for that reason with no apps, no nothing on it, he would be all in, right? And he has one at school, so his teacher is really able to use that. Now, granted, it's very limited what he can do on it at school, but he has to do his work at his tables. He goes to a traditional first grade classroom. He has to do his reading and his writing. It's really helped. It has been really hard to keep him busy. And I am glad that we have gotten him reintroduced to cartoons. I mean, I cannot have him not, I mean, just for 30 minutes, a few times a day. Anyway, I took away the tablet after you did, and it's been great. Oh, Missy, I'm so glad to hear that. I'm so glad to hear that. Do you plan on giving it back to him one day? You know, Brettley, I would love to, but I don't think, it's kind of like if you said to me, why don't you just have one teeny little cigarette? Like, we don't, I think the iPad to him and cigarettes to me are like crack to somebody else. I mean, just to be honest, I think, does he ask for it? No, he hasn't asked for it in a couple weeks. No, he hasn't. I know you are strong enough to not be spotted with a pack of Marlboro Lights outside an Apple store in Raleigh. Oh God, did somebody see me? I don't think I did it there. Why did you not like the guanfacine? Well, the guanfacine we were using for the tics, which we realized the Lexapro was causing. So then when we decided to start the ADHD medicine, we decided we didn't need the guanfacine anymore. And you don't want to take guanfacine and Dynavel because it can lower your blood pressure too much. I'm not a doctor. I just play one on TV. My son is 13 and has been on more ADHD medicine. The medicine makes it worse. Well, that's good to see. I give you kudos for taking the iPad away. Well, I probably need to take this mess away from my children, my other children. No tics now. None. Not even a teensy one. We've never tried Vyvanse or Quilichew. Kathy, one of my subscribers, said the amazing marked change in Amos's verbalization interactions is wonderful to see. You know, I haven't asked anybody, Kathy, but Dr. Copeland said, you know, we just really haven't done a lot of research in that area. But the research that I have found is yes. And I want to write a post about it. And I asked this author who wrote a scientific article if I could do a top 10 list, but I need to see if she says it's okay. Horrible impulse control. Yeah, I think that's kind of the anxiety bit. Sad he's fed pills like that. Oh, Sheila Peak. Sheila, it's not pills. It's compounded medicine that we have to drive 30 minutes to get. Sheila, you might wake up to a dead bird in your house tomorrow. It's called karma. My child had horrible tics with stimulants. Thankful for non-stimulants. Yeah, we're just trying to figure it out. He's 8. But seriously, Sheila, you should get something for your anxiety too. I take Lexapro. Wait, what do I take? I take Wellbutrin and Zoloft. Oh yeah. The other thing, which Sheila said, which is super important, is I would guess that when somebody says it's sad you give him pills or you have medicine, like I kind of get it, Sheila, because while I was smart enough not to say that or comment that out loud to someone, I might have thought it. And I remember my first three children, they were just as neurotypical as they could be. And I walked around patting myself on the back. They're so smart. Look at them. They don't dump their toys and they sleep in their own beds. And I am a good parent. Damn it. I have a PhD in education. Just look, you can tell. And then Amos came along. Oh, Sheila. Suddenly, I have an 8-year-old that I am feeding pills. You're right. All because I want him to be the best version of himself. And if he had diabetes, I would feed him insulin. And if Adrian has anxiety, she'll take some medicine. And if, well, that's not nice. I'm not going to say that. But anyway, that attitude is so hurtful and creates such a stigma that we're really trying to get away from, which is why I'm talking about it out loud, because there are more of us than there are of you. And I think it's so important that we dispel people that have had lobotomies in areas like this, because we need to tell them, like, wow, this is not, this isn't you. Like, I was a really good parent before Amos, damn it. So it's okay to say, like, Adrian's given medicine, or Adrian takes medicine, My 9-year-old takes Paxil, Vyvanse, and Clonidine. And I trust Dr. Copeland. Like, when you have a pediatric psychiatrist who has dedicated their life towards helping kids like Amos be the best people they can be, you're thrilled. I'm so thankful for him and thankful that he cares about us and cares about Amos's, And if you really like me, you can come be a subscriber. Sheila, you're not invited. But we need to tell people that. If you have a friend and they're like, oh my gosh, I'm having to give my child whatever, be like, you know what? I'm really proud of you for doing that, because it is really hard to push through and do something that hurts your heart. And that stigma of giving medicine is super hard to get past. Yes, thank you, Nancy. Nancy just said, I remember when you and Amos were up all night most nights. Yeah, there have been women who, remember that nice woman that drowned all 5 children in a bathtub? I have a feeling if she had had access to medicine, she probably would have children that were alive and teenagers by now. Medicine is no joke. It is really helpful. I ain't never going to be a Christian Scientist. I can pretty much tell you that. But yeah, Amos didn't sleep until we started whatever we take. What's he take? Oh, medicine. Honor, what are you doing, you Fruit Loop? Anyway, so I welcome the conversation because I think it is super important to talk about. And I take medicine. Look at my medicine. I take this because I have MOG, an autoimmune disorder, and nobody's like, well, you shouldn't give yourself plasma from people. It's not like I just want to have an IV full of plasma 3 days a month because I can't think of anything else to do. WTF, people. No, all these people are trying to tell me what a good mother I am. I'm not that good of a mother. Does he like to put dishes up? Who? Amos? I ain't letting Amos hold any dish. Amos likes to make muffins. What? Where are you? Where are you? Are you reading? Are you playing? Oh, you got all your books out?
Help me. Help me. Help me.
Help me what?
IV.
Oh, I do have an IV. That's right.
I do not.
Oh, you don't like my IV, I know. What do you want me to do, though? Let's see.
Help me.
What do I need to do?
That one.
You want me to take the helmet off?
No.
You want me to take... Oh, you want that in his other hand.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Oh, is it going to work? Let's see. Ah,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
The remote control.
Oh, is he holding the remote control? He looks like your brother's playing the Xbox, doesn't he?
Amos is playing the Xbox.
Amos is playing the Xbox?
Play with mommy
Where do you want me to go?
in the playroom.
You want me to stay right here?
Sit.
Want me to sit here?
Stand up.
Oh, you want me out. Okay.
Hit.
No hit, crazy. Oh, gosh. Hunter.
So I decided to go back home. Mommy's phone.
I'm on mommy's phone. I'm about to get off because we got to get ready to go night-night. Nighty-night-night. Nighty-night-nights. Last night we would try to go to bed a little earlier because I've been having to wake him up at 7. And you know what happened when we went to bed 30 minutes earlier? He got up at 4:40. The night before, when he had the ADHD medicine, the rebound dose, he got up at 12:30, midnight. We want to talk about mental illness with stigma. Yeah, I mean, we need people to get help. Help me. Amos has said, help me. How unreal how much he is talking. I know. I'm so proud of him. Oh. I feel like I'm looking in the future when I see Amos. You know, the future is scary, right, Bretley? But today is good. And it doesn't mean every minute is good. It is hard, like running a freaking marathon. Not that I'm ever going to run one, but it appears to be hard. But it must be good because people keep doing it.
That evil Lego man.
Eagle Lego man. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Good job. Let's not spit it out, though, okay? I know. Yum. Yuck. 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 Yummy. Delicious. Yes, he's way more conversational, Deb. I know. Yes, he is. Darn iPad, I think. I have 5 children, 4 medicated. Are you okay? Oh, he's got a runny. Amos, I think we need to give you some allergy medicine. Your nose seems runny. Mental health is health. Yes, thank you, Nurse Janie. Janie is my resident subscriber nurse. Yeah, I mean, you know, I used to think when Amos was like turning 3, that was so scary to me. Because I was like, he's going to be so big. And now I'm like, he's 8. He is 8. He's going to be 9 on his next birthday. Like 9. I look back at pictures of my other children when they were 9, and Amos is not those children. And, but I wouldn't trade him, you know? I wouldn't trade him. Anyway. Thank y'all for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Subscribers, in the morning, we will be discussing Madison Cawthorn. And I'm going to jump on right now because we have 10 minutes just to chit-chat about my husband's illness, feign illness. What do you tell him the medicine is? I tell him it's medicine. And he says, don't say yum, it's yuck. Anyway, appreciate everybody tuning in. I think it's important information that people need to get, and I would hate for a parent out there to be really struggling and have there be a solution that maybe would make their life manageable or give them sleep or have less anxiety or talk more. And we're in this together. Like, we have to talk about stuff. So anyway, thank you.